Hi guys, it's Gareth here from Horsemanship. Since we did the Appaloosa online show and we've got another online show for all breeds coming up soon, we've had a lot of questions regarding what's going on in these classes. People want to give the Western classes a try. So I just thought I'd run through some of Jamie and my patterns and what we submitted and the feedback we got from the judge, just to help you guys understand what the judge is looking for. So this is the novice trail pattern that Jamie did with Cherokee. I want you to walk into the box, walk into the chute, back up, and then do a 3/4 turn to the right. So here what they're looking for is not clicking any poles, preferably as smooth as possible, with as little correction as you go around. Okay, then we're going to walk out of the box and start jogging. So just remember that the Western jog is a slow trot, and you're going to maintain your cadence over the poles so that jog continues all the way around that little cone, and then you do a weave, S shape, and then you come through, open the gate, walk through, and here, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, drop gate, don't close gate. So those specifics you'll see will come in handy. We all make mistakes on these things, especially when we haven't been showing for a while because of lockdown. So now I'm going to run through. Right, so Jamie enters the box, doesn't take any poles, turns into the chute, stops, and the goal here is to try and get Cherokee to back up as lightly as possible. So she has to use a little bit of rein there, so we're not in the pluses of that score. Here again, she's not ticking any poles, that's really good, but he could move around smoother. That's just a young horse in development. Okay, so he's got to walk out the box. Might have started that jog a little bit fast, and he actually got a little quicker there. There he's coming back to more of a trail jog. Okay, he clicked a pole there, so that would have been a penalty point. Okay, this sharp turn around that cone, lost a little bit of cadence in that, and it needed a lot more convincing to get around. Here he's speeding up again, so maybe lose some points for going a bit quick. Now at the gate, Jamie and Cherokee do really well here. Again, the goal is to get him to go smoothly through the gate. Now, yeah, Jamie went for what is normally an intermediate move of closing the gate, but the pattern actually specified that do not close the gate. So Jamie actually got a 0 score on that. Okay, just going to go through again and talk a little bit about the score while Jamie's going through. How the scoring works is you start at 70, and for every maneuver you either get from anywhere from a +1.5 through to a -1.5, with 0 being a correct movement. So if you kind of struggling through the maneuver, you might get either down to a -1. So for Jamie and Cherokee in this one, that on the box being one maneuver, Jamie got a 0, which means correct. So for the chute and for the box. The trot that we saw there was a -0.5, and the poles was correct. Those were a -1/2 plus the penalty points for clicking the pole. And this maneuver here was a -1 and then 3 penalty points. I think he kind of lost cadence there. Then the gate, before it was a 0 score because of the fact that we went off pattern, it was a -1/2. Now -1/2 sounds bad, but it's actually a good score when you're working on your 70 and everything that's coming off. If you can stick to zeros and -1/2s, you get a pretty good score. Right, so let's have a look at mine and Cherokee's trail pattern. This is intermediate, so it includes a lope, which is kind of like a slow, smooth canter, preferably on a loose rein. Very similar to what Jamie had to do. Walk in to the chute, back, do the 3/4 turn, but here you have to add in a step back, a walk back into the chute, backwards in there. Then you'll walk out, pick up a jog over the poles, and over there you've got to pick up a lope, a right lead lope over the poles, transition down to a jog that cone, and weave through at a jog up to the gate. And yeah, they do expect you to close the gate after you're through. So let's have a look. Okay, walk over the first pole is good. Into the chute with no trouble. A little bit of resistance there in the backup. And there he didn't get a great smooth flow backwards all the way. Here the turn. Again, he could be a lot smoother all the way around, and I'm having to guide him a lot more than he should be. Now the back up into the chute, he's kind of, I've got to correct him because he was a little skew, he would kick tick poles. So all that stuff comes into account when you're looking at the quality of the movements. Walk out is good. Jogs, a little rushed. Yeah, definitely rushed, and the transition was a little sloppy. And the lope is fast. Transition down is stuttery. And there he breaks cadence, breaks gate actually on that little turnaround. Okay. Still a little on the quick side going through this S here. And he broke gate there. A smooth stop at the gate. And he got a pretty good score on the gate. I think it was a +1/2. Okay, so the overall score on this test was 62.5. It wasn't fantastic, but happy with it for as young as Cherokee is. Cool guys, going to move on to the reining pattern now. Actually, that's the novice ranch pattern that Jamie did. Now ranch is all about a horse with natural ranch movements, so you'll see a little bit more extension in this class than you do in most Western classes. Starts off at a walk around there, and on this turn you pick up a jog, which is that slow trot that we saw in the trail pattern. Halfway through you extend that, which is more like a extended jog. Over here you stop, back up, and you've got to do a 90-degree turn. Again, you would pick up a walk all the way over those poles, and as you go around the corner you take a jog all the way to the end. There you'll stop and you'll do a 360-degree turn on the hindquarters either direction. Okay, so let's have a look at Jamie's. run on Bella. Okay, now in ranch she's going to be judged on the quality of each of the gates. That's a nice forward walk. And Jamie was scored on this, so she got a +1 for the walk. Bella was a little late picking up the jog here, so she should have been on the turn, so she would have lost a few points there. But yeah, when she goes to the extended jog, Bella rushes a little there, so that would have been a minus score. Stop is good. Turn's not bad. Okay, walk over the poles was clean, no clicking. Okay, she picked up the jog a little early. Now Bella has had no preparation for this, so she did exceptionally well here. Okay. So Jamie's having to adjust her speed a little there, which will get a few marks down. Okay, now the stop and the 360-degree turn on the hind. So she kind of stepped out a little, but not bad. And that'll probably be a 0 or a -0.5. Jamie's overall score for this was 68.5, which is, it is a novice pattern, but Jamie did very well with pulling a horse without being in work, and Jamie's first real show competition since being back from surgery. So this is just a repeat of that. Again, the scoring starts at 70 and you get points taken off or added for each maneuver and quality of each maneuver. Cool, we're going to move on to the horsemanship. Alright guys, this is the horsemanship pattern for novice, Jamie and Cherokee did. Now, it seems pretty straightforward. You got walk, over there you pick up a jog. Turn the corner, do a circle at a jog, all the way through jog, stop there and do a full turn to the right, which is about 270 degrees, and walk down to the end, stop and back up. Now here's the tricky part with horsemanship. You have to pay very close attention to which side of the cone you are on every maneuver. When we look at Jamie and Cherokee's pattern, had a very clean run. Walks good. The transition up to jog is nice. Hugs the corner nicely. Maintains cadence. Does that nice, slow western jog. Circle was good up until there where he started kind of pulling out a bit and Jamie had to correct. And those are going to be the things that lose a few points, then you have to correct, or visibly correct. Okay, lost a little bit of cadence there and going into that corner and his head came up. Okay, stops nice. Now he's going to do the turn on the hind. Stepped out there. Good job otherwise. Get through to the end and stops and backs up. Okay, just one thing here. Jamie ended up with a disqualification there because at the very end, go back there, At the very end, she's on the wrong side of the cone. So when you guys are entering Western horsemanship classes, these are the little intricacies you've got to watch out for, being particular counts. Right, on to Cherokee now, doing a rainy pattern. Our arena is grass, and it's on the small side for reining, but it's an online show and really wanted to give it a go. I do include some reining maneuver as my normal training, so I do enjoy it, and I gave it a go regardless of the fact that we're not on sand. Cherokee doesn't have sliders on, so it's quite possible to practice this stuff on a sand arena. And in terms of the size, there are some limitations, but yeah, still had fun giving it a try. So that looks like a rather complicated pattern. It's not as bad as it looks. You're going to have the start at the middle here, and what happens with the reining, you have that and you have the instructions at the bottom here. So how this pattern worked is you start at the middle and you lope 3 circles to the left. 2 large and fast, 1 small and slow. You would stop in the middle and do 4 spins to the left. From there you'll do 4 lope circles to the right, 2 of which are large and fast, 1 of which is small and slow. Stop in the middle, 4 spins to the right. From there, again with the full circle to the left, a lead change. Cherokee and I did intermediate, so it's a simple lead change. Circle to the right, simple lead change in the middle. Then you start the circle to the left, you don't close the circle, you run down, you stop, you do a rollover, which we'll discuss later. You lope out all the way down, stop, roll over, stop, and back up. So some of the limitations on grass, obviously you're not going to slide as much, but to be fair, Cherokee and I really haven't really worked much on a slide stop, given the fact we don't work in a sand arena a lot. But when we go through the actual pattern, the points I could have picked up in this, overall I got a 63. For an intermediate pattern, there are things that we can improve even on the grass arena with the smaller size, but we'll go through that now. Okay, the pattern does specify you either jog to the center, walk or jog to the center, as long as you walk or jog before you start the pattern. So I jogged in. Okay, came down to a walk. Stopped and prepared him for the lope to the left. Not a bad depart, it's relatively snappy. Now in a normal reining arena these circles are a lot bigger, and the smaller the circles the more challenging it is really. But Cherokee and I weren't exactly round in these circles, they're a little bit all over the place, so we did lose some points on this. Now the next part of that, about this, the 3 circles, is the small and slow. And Cherokee, we didn't really change speeds as much as we could have. But that's something that we are still developing. Okay, stop in the middle. Spins, still something quite new to Cherokee. So yeah, he's kind of fighting the bend a little and stepping out. Still got lots of work to do in this area. And what often happens is, because he's struggling, I kind of pick up more, and then it causes more the battle. So we've got to get that on a looser contact and a little lighter of the leg. Now I'm going to do the canter depart to the right. Wasn't actually as smooth, but his lope is actually a little better on this direction. It's just his preferred side, so it's really just going to come with time that his left lead gets as good as his right. Okay, then it's going to come down to the small. Again, not that big a difference in the speed, so ideally I should do my bigger circles faster, so that the difference looks more substantial. He overshot there and I backed him up. Judge might pick on that a little. And yeah, his turns to the right, he's what we call swapping ends. So instead of just a turn around the hindquarters, this keeps stepping out. And it really comes down to the same thing as the other side, where he's not soft going through. So we've got to work on that a lot. This is the great thing with competition. That's why I want to compete in the online shows and reining, even though I'm on grass, is I'm having some kind of assessment of what I need to work on. Okay, that canter depart was sloppy. It took 3 or 4 strides at a trot before he actually picked up. And here down to the lead change, he fights the downward transition. So that lead change would have been quite substantially minused. A little better that time, a few more strides than I needed. Okay, now he's going to run down, stop and do a roll back. That stop can improve even though we're on grass, so we'll work on that. We're not going to slide, but we can actually neaten up our stops a bit. If you look here, see how he pops there, we can get that cleaner. Rollbacks needing a little too much rain at this point. Same with the stop there. His backup's nice and neat. Okay, so I would encourage people to give things a try, even if your settings aren't perfect. I'm not asking for major hard stops, so I'm not going to be hurting my horse. All the things that might concern people. Just remember that this discipline was started to develop the movements to work cows. And while nowadays that happens in an arena, initially that's going to be in ranch settings. So yeah, a nice neat stop on grass can be done without causing major harm. Rather give it a go, and then when you get to the show, you get your horse used to the footing and you can maybe ask for a little more. So my circles, if I had rainy size arena, these circles would be double the size, so it makes it easier. But I mean, is it good for him to work on circles that are smaller? It's fantastic. Kind of getting pushed on things. Never going to score major plus points when I'm working in a smaller space and on the grass. But yeah, I could probably add 3 points just on the turns each way. Or let's say 2 points, 2.5 points each turn each way. And that doesn't matter about grass or the size of the arena. So I can up my score. So the score is 63. That already takes it to 66. My lead change, again, I can pick up a few points there. So when you take out all the impediments of riding on grass in a smaller arena, I can still work on some basics and really up my score. This change of speeds on the circles, I can work on that to up a score. And I'm not really competing against anyone in particular. I want to compete against my own score. So when I look at this now, these are the aspects I'm going to look at improving my score on. Cool, guys. I hope this is helpful. Any questions, you can drop us an email or drop us a WhatsApp. Cheers, guys.